Yep, it is what it is. Let's get this dropped off. Let me see if there's something in the P.O. box first. The heck? I'm getting a flat tire. Now I gotta see why. Huh? Guys, you ever wake up in the morning and you got a flat tire? Well, now it's time to break this big bad jack out. Now that one there, that's the stay-at-home steel jack. That's the aluminum traveling jack that I take with me because it's easier than using the one in the vehicle. So let me see what the heck is going on. Alrighty, let's line this jack up here. Just to let you guys know, be careful where you line these things up. You want it on something heavy metal. Here I can use the rear control arm to raise it up. Try not to put it on the side or the edge, and I'll show you why. Not every car is going to have a rear control arm. This is all-wheel drive. So this setup is the same as the front setup with control arms. Usually you'll just have a frame that goes over there to there. Yes, I have a flat.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's showing a flat. See if you can spin that real quick. I don't think you can, but oh, okay. Alright, I gotta find the nail. That tire has a flat in it.
Holy shit.
Slow down. Keep on. There it is. Keep on. Keep on. Right there. There she is. Right there. Yep, luckily I have get my monkey ties.
Well, you should have some in here too.
Alright, watch your hand. I'm gonna drop it. Yeah.
Okay.
I have my tire kit.
I don't know, buddy.
Repair kit. And that's the tool. That's the monkey ties. Now I don't have the glue, but it should work without the glue. Alright, let me get a wrench to pull that. Alright, basically you get your monkey tail and you slide it through here. That's an opening so that when it goes in and you pull it out. But if you can get it to a garage, then the best thing to do is get it patched instead of plugged. Patch is way to go. Alright, let's see how big this sucker is. Now this, when you do this, it's got to be done quickly because the more air that's in here, the easier it is to push it in. If you have anything in this area from here to here or here to here, a tire shop will not fix your tire. You'll have to buy another one. So let's see how big this sucker is. Alright, I'm going to use 2 hands. Alright, let's try it. Now, I don't know if I have the strength like I used to push this sucker in. Oh, give me the thing in there.
What?
The tool.
Oh, okay.
Give me that's to make the hole, clean it out. Ooh, I don't know, this is a flat piece. I'm gonna have to get this. Oh yeah, that's a flat piece.
That's not a nail, is it?
No, it's a flat piece.
It's
I'm gonna have
metal.
to go get this.
To the tire shop.
I'm gonna get it patched. This is not gonna be.
This is good for nails.
Alrighty, well, let me take the tire off. Alright. Alright, you got that up?
I got it.
This is why I carry this breaker bar with me, because if I'm on the road and someone uses an air gun, and I have these separate, and then that's the lock right there.
Okay.
But this is why I have a breaker bar. And I gotta put the emergency brake on, because if I'm on the road, these things are hard to get off, and the tool that they give you with the vehicle is just as hard.
Hey, babe.
Yeah, you gotta push the button up or down.
Where's the button?
In the middle. It's an electric brake.
Oh, okay.
And then I make sure I have the right socket and everything. So invest in this. You can get this at Harbor Freight.
Okay.
It's real cheap.
Up is on, down is off.
And then you can. This is a 21 millimeter, depending on what yours is. This is cheap at Harbor Freight. I'm telling you, especially women, men, especially if you don't have the energy, because what happens is that, you see, I can stand on this if I had to. That one that comes on with the vehicle, you can't stand on. But if I needed to break this, I can stand on this, and this will break it free. So, but I have an air gun, so lucky me. And always start with your lock one first to come off. And you take it off in a star, and you put it back on in a star. But always the lock one. I don't like these type of locks because they get rusted. This centerpiece will come out. They do sell a tool that if it breaks, it goes over here, but you make sure that sucker lays in there flat before you put anything on there. And that one you could take off completely. And then we could start doing the rest like a NASCAR race. You can tell them suckers, the dealership, because they put them on. Another thing that's good to do is, you see these rocks here, which I'm going to do all the tires before we go on our trip. Take these rocks out, because what happens is as the tire is getting lower, these rocks, and you can see how it's getting flat, these rocks will get pushed in, and sometimes these will cause you to get holes in your tires as well. Because like I said, these rocks, and if you can see how it's you see a little damage there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because as the tire is getting lower, the rocks are getting pushed in. But I'm gonna go get this fixed first. That's a patch there. And let me run it down there, and then I'm gonna be checking all the tires, all the pressure.
Yep.
For the road trip. And then I'm gonna check my brakes here as well. While I have this off, I can look all underneath here. And this is why I say in your tool, that little edge mark right there is where your OEM vehicle jack would go. If I was to put my jack right here, this would get flat, because this is supposed to be the strongest part in the vehicle, but that floor jack will flatten that out. So never do it in the center. Either find a frame or something. Don't do the engine, but either find a frame or something very hard to do that. So it's one way to start off a morning. So let me get this done now. I gotta take your table out.
I know.
So let me just put this all up there for now. So again, if I was to pull the nail out, then I would get this to clean it. Get that to clean it like that in the tire. And then normally that comes with glue, but the glue dries. I can either put saliva here or the glue, and then I come with the glue, and then when it's pinched in, I only go up to here, so that much is hanging out, and then I'll pull this out and the plug will stay in, and then I'll just clean it off to make it look flat. All right, I mean, I had some things to do today, but this was not one of them. So Keep your head up, guys. Keep your head up. All right. Now, when I say about the breaker bar, men, women, when you get older, you don't have that strength. That's why that good leverage to stand on there is good. That breaker bar is good. It's a well worth investment. I've had that. You know, I've used breaker bars in all my cars. Every car has a breaker bar with the socket that is for that. I normally, when I travel, like I said, I carry the floor jack because it's easier to raise a vehicle up and down than the other tools. The other tools will work, but they're just, you know, by the time you get them out, you got to tear out your whole back and everything. But if that was a nail, I would do the plug. But because that is a flat piece, that plug would probably hold it temporarily. Like if I was on the road, I would do it there. But a patch, if you ever go to a place and you get your tires like that, if you have a nail or whatever, get a patch. Tell them, I want a patch. I don't want the plug. Okay? The patch is better. It might cost a couple dollars more, but in the long run, you're better to the patch than the plug. So let's go to Midas over here and drop off the tire. Alrighty, gonna go get the Midas touch. Now this can really make a bad day. You can start your day all pissed off, but not me. I'm just taking it as it is. Can't get mad at nothing that you cannot, just can't, you know, it's not, I didn't do it. All right, hey, how you doing there? Yes, ma'am.
They did, okay, so, we just did, what we're waiting for is to get the inspection back from them.
What's
We
the,
did have it this morning.
what's the maximum that this claim will pay?
You know, hold on one second, I know that they have up to $12,000 in limited,
Is it the one?
All right, that's the damage right there to put a plug in. I got lucky, I didn't have to wait. I got it in. And I apologize, I didn't mean to say plug, I meant a patch. So, all right, now I gotta get to the post office and drop off something for Katrina's baby. And then see if anything came in the thing. And I'm gonna get this car ready for our trip. 3 days in the vehicle. I don't know if that's called boondocking or I don't know what it's called, but we're gonna be sleeping in our car, driving non-stop 3 days on the road. So let me know what you guys do during your routine during the day. And do you get upset when something happens? Do you get it that something bad happens ruin your day or not? Like I said, you know, couldn't do nothing about it. It changes the day plan. It is what it is. Yep, it is what it is. Let's get this dropped off. Let me see if there's something in the P.O. box first, just in case. Even though I checked yesterday and there's probably nothing, but you never know. You just never know. Nope, it's all good. All right. Alrighty. 785. All right, the question of the day. How many days before you go on a road trip do you check your car to prepare it? Okay, let me know. You see how big the tire is? That's a 19-inch tire. I used to flip truck tires when I first worked. Well, there goes that there. Anyway, I used to flip truck tires when I first came to Florida and I worked at a trucking company. And they were 20-inch rims. And I used to flip these like nothing. That when I had a regular tire, it would feel like it was like a toy. Well, you don't do that for a long time. Well, guess what? These tires start to feel heavy again. So I'm going to check the air pressure again on this. And you can see the patches in here. It's nice and flat. Make sure there's no bubbles there. I gotta take some of that rocks out of there. But let me do that there. Always make sure that when you're doing something, make it comfortable for you. I mean, this is my kids' blankets from Jersey. Still use. Oh no, this one here is from when I first moved here in '94. The Ninja Turtle one. All right, I just put this on just to show you that when you put this on, make sure you screw this hand tight as far as you can. You want the tire up on there. You don't want the tire hanging. You don't want to just screw this a couple of inches in. You want to get it as close as you can so you don't tear up the threads or the inside of the rim. The other thing is never spray PB Blaster on your lug nuts. And never ever put anti-seize on your lug nuts. And the way of torquing your tires is this is last. 1, 2, and a star. 3, 4, 5. And a 4 lug nut, it'll be the same way but 4. Be 1, 2, 3, 4. This always gets tightened up last. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me get my... Alrighty. Ooh, I did it the wrong way. I was supposed to go the other way. Because I want this one again to be last. And when tightening, again, make sure, because like I said, this will break in the center. Make sure you get this in there before you put anything on here. See? There you go. All right, once you have that tightened, you double check it all over again. Some people use torque wrenches to torque them down. That's fine. All right, let's put everything away. But I do want to check the air pressure. Okay, even though I know he checked that, that won't record into the system until I do a revolution. So, all right, I have to drive it around before the computer picks up that air pressure. So you can do one of the things, always rely on that, or what I do is I look here. So if you never know what your air pressure get, 35. Some can be 32, just all depends. But if you're not sure, 35 on this vehicle here. So I just want to check it. Got my tire gauge thing. And again, I'm not saying anything against them, but always make sure you take these caps off, you put them on, especially if you live up north, because the ice will get in there, the salt, and inside here is a rubber thing inside that valve there. So that is just as important. And you see he's got 40. That's not good. Check your air pressure when the car is cold. Don't run your car and then check it, because it will go up 3 to 5 pressures from the heat. In the cold weather, like in Jersey when I had those issues, air shrinks. So when it warms up, so you put the air in and then it warms up, you got to start releasing air in the summertime. We don't have to worry about that in Florida. So 35 cold, Like I said, you don't want to drive the car around to check your air pressure because it's already built up to heat. That's good. That's why they say check it first thing in the morning. Another thing is if a tire is in the sun, like I'm going to show you with this one here, sometimes the sun will make this tire hot and the air pressure will go up. So that's another time you don't check the air pressure, but I'm still gonna do it because I know. And this is like a tick under, so I'm gonna fill this up, check the front ones, and go through all that. Okay, when to check your vehicle. You can check it a week out for fluids and stuff, tires, but 3 days. I was gonna check it out over the weekend, but since that flat tire speeded up the whatchamacallit. All right, well, the flat tire speeded it up some, so I check my brake fluid. Now, if I shake the brake fluid, you're gonna see it's a little bit underneath the maximum. That's okay, because what that's telling me is that the brakes are getting low. I have two choices. I could put brake fluid in here and bring it up to the maximum, but the day that I get, well, I probably could put some in there, but the day that I get my brakes done and when I open up the pistons, this fluid is gonna push back up to maximum. Now, if I have my brakes done and I push it and it's still on this here with brand new brakes, then I need to add fluid. I could add a little bit of fluid if I want to, but again, this is just telling me my brakes are wearing down, so the piston is not retracting, it's staying like closed because the brakes are getting smaller. You always check your battery. I don't care how old your car is or how new it looks, just because I clean my car and everything, that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes they'll show the date on the vehicle, but I don't see nothing here. All I know is I got this car, I think it was in 23 or 24. It's got 38,000 miles. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Just because I wash my car and everything, that's like taking a bath and not checking your body. Who cares if the outside is clean? Get some windshield washer fluid in it, and I'm going to check my engine. Now what I did was I took the dipstick out and I cleaned it. Never check oil on a car that just ran. Don't check them on incline hills. Now, of course, if you're traveling and you're checking, that's a different story because you got no choice. If you see a little bit went down, just add a little bit. But you got to be careful because when the car's running, the oil is still up everywhere in the engine and it hasn't settled down yet. So that's why you check your engine. And then you see those 2 tick marks. You just make sure it's nice and thick in that area and it's nice and good. And it doesn't matter if your car is new or not. You still check it. My fluids are good. Now this car here, just like BB's car, is a sealed transmission. So there won't be a dipstick for me to check that. That the dealership checks or your auto mechanic, but it's usually in this area. It's usually in a yellow dipstick cover. But this one here, why is that up in the air like that? I don't like that. See? So I don't like people working on my car. But they do oil changes. But there is no dipstick in here. My air filter is a K&N filter, so I don't have to worry about that there. But let me go get some fluid. Another thing, never put water in your antifreeze. All that does, it'll rot everything, your water pump and everything over time. Water boils. Just use antifreeze. Same thing with this here. I don't care how old your car is. I don't care if it's rusted out. I mean, do it properly. Especially if you want your car to last. I've had cars last 400,000 miles with the original Freon and everything in it, and it has nothing to do with me knowing about cars. I know the hoses and the belts are good. Usually in the 5th year, that's when I start worrying about it then. So that's it there as far as that goes. That looks all good. Okay, so you're probably thinking, well, heck, I just put the air pressure in, they did everything, blah, blah, blah. This has to go through a cycle. Anytime you put air pressure or anything, this has to go through a cycle before it'll let you know that it's okay. So let's go take it around the block. What I didn't like about here was saying that my air pressure was at 32 or 31 on one of them, but I don't know, they were like 33. But that's why I have my air pressure gauge. So, and then if you have a bad one right there, well, then you already know you need your tool. So let's take it for a revolution. Hopefully it'll punch some numbers up for me. It'll cycle through and it should say everything is okay, and that goes away. Now, if you have a bad stem, whatever, just remember you visually got to check those out. So now I'm going to drive it and we're going to see what happens. Remember, it has to go through its cycle here. See, there it goes. It went away. So I don't know where the air pressure went to. That's what I hate about this is I have to learn how to check the air. Okay, there we go. 35, 35, and that front one is still reading 34. So I'm gonna put a pinch of air in it there. Because what happens is if you have air pressure that's different on each tire, your steering will pull left or right. Another thing too is it wears your tires down unevenly. So make sure your air pressures are always up. In an all-wheel drive, you have to replace all 4 tires. In a 2-wheel drive, you can replace 2 tires at a time, and what they do is they put the best tires in the rear, and your junky tires, your lowest tires, will go to the front. That is law in every state. Now, the all 4 tires is not law in every state, but the reason you have to replace all 4 tires is because in an all-wheel drive, it is measuring the inches of each tire thread. So as it's driving, you can ruin your transmission over time. Not immediately, but if you keep doing that, it just doesn't help. It's kind of like, you know, you keep hitting your arm, you keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, and 10, 20 years, it's gonna catch up to you. So all I gotta do is just put a tick more in there and I'm good. But that's it. Now you see, from driving, that went up to 35. So now I don't know if they're all 35 or because I drove it for a little bit, it went to 35. I'm still gonna check it. I'll have to check it in the morning or something, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That could be a heated tire that's got hot air in it. All right, just to show you something, inside our keys, we have what they either call a valet key or a spare key. This has already been cut to your vehicle. You're walking around your vehicle. I got no door locks on either side, all the way around. Well, guess what? Inside this cover here, I don't want to take it off. But if your keychain ever goes bad, but the only bad thing is if you got a push button start, you're screwed regardless. But you could, if you don't have a push button start, you're okay. But in here, this pops out, this little cone here, and there is the key thing to open your door. So if you're walking around, you think I don't have no locks, or you lock a key in there or something, and you can't get to it, like I said, your keychain goes bad, that key inside here pops out easily, and you'll see your key thing in there to unlock the door. Then you just put this cap back on. Now, if you have a push start like I do, and your key fob is dead, well, then you could just only get in your car. Unfortunately, you can't start it. So that's the bad and the good on having key fobs. So just in case of people who didn't know, Your key fobs do have what they call a valet key or a spare key.